Christmas cookies became popular in the medieval times because of the introduction of spices, butter, lard, and just inventions in baking. The people in those times would make them only for very special occasions, and that's today. Welcome to the Christmas special. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate this time of year. Welcome, and thanks for coming in. Today, we are going to eat every single Christmas cookie. But I've been baking for 3 days straight, just getting all the cookies for my family done, and it's been crazy busy and just hectic because I am not a great baker. We're gonna try all the cookies that my family makes every year for Christmas, and then we're gonna try some other cookies that I think are very popular around this time. If I left out any cookies, just leave me a comment down below telling me what your favorite cookie is this time of year, and maybe I'll try it next year and make it for the family. So let's try some cookies. So our first selection of cookies today are these Royal Danish. Royal Dansky? I don't know. I bought this brand new and I am still afraid to open it and see some sewing equipment in here. So the trauma as a child of storing sewing equipment in one of these is still very prevalent. If you guys have ever seen these before, there's about 4 different ones per package, and they all taste about the same. There might be a little difference in shape and then sugar coating and stuff like that, but in general, they're all pretty normal. I love these cookies. They're kind of like a shortbread cookie. Very sweet and very crunchy, so I like the buttery flavor, and it has a great texture, and it's honestly an all-around great cookie. And if you are in a pinch in the holidays and you just want to run to the store, got 2 of these for $6, and it's enough cookies for any small family occasion. The peanut butter and Hershey cookie, but when I eat these cookies, I take the Hershey kiss out, eat the cookie, and then eat the peanut butter cookie. So these cookies are amazing because 1, I used homemade peanut butter in them, and 2, I let them bake a little less than normal, so they're still very soft, they're not brittle, they're not anything going on. So the peanut butter is a great flavor, and then you got an intense chocolate, kind of like a Reese cup idea, but you can't go wrong with peanut butter and chocolate ever. Not at the holidays, not in normal times, so this is a great cookie, and honestly, one of my favorite cookies. Next cookie we're covering is just the normal sugar cookie. So I think sugar cookies are very underrated, especially when you take them fresh out of the oven and they're still soft, gooey, and perfect. But after a couple days they get a little hard, and that's still fine. I still will eat these sugar cookies, and they're still a great cookie. One thing I will say is I looked everywhere to get those Pillsbury cookies that had like the reindeer and the snowman like already printed in them, and you just lay them out and bake them. Usually I have no trouble finding these for any other holiday, but apparently I just couldn't find any near me, so I made my own sugar cookies and put sprinkles in them. So man, you can't beat the simplicity of a sugar cookie. Just great flavor, great texture, great everything you want. I think I could eat 100 of these. Next we're moving on to our chocolate chip cookie. This is just the simple, can't go wrong cookie. Everyone has had a chocolate chip cookie, and I feel everyone can appreciate the simplicity of a chocolate chip cookie. You just got cookie and chocolate chips in there, so there's not much that can go wrong. Oh, this is an amazing chocolate chip cookie. Ooh. So one of the things I think is important with the chocolate chip cookies, it's not overly sweet. I like different dimensions of flavor in there. So you want the cookie to be a little, not salty, but you want to put a little salt in there, flavor, and then you want the chocolate chip to just add to it. You don't want the very sweet, you don't want like a sugar cookie with chocolate chips in it, because then that's just too much sweet and it doesn't give you the full idea of what a chocolate chip cookie is. But this chocolate chip cookie is fantastic. And honestly, I don't know if I can stop eating it. Chocolate chip cookies, simple, effective, and easy to make. I love everything about these cookies. All right, next one up that we have at every single one of my Christmases is a rum ball or a bourbon ball. In all honestly, I am not eating this right now. There's like 2 shots of alcohol in this rum ball, and it made like 10 to 12 rum balls, so that's almost like a quarter of a shot in each of them or something. It's 10 a.m. I am not taking a quarter of a shot this early, so we're not going to eat these right now, but they're very good to get in the spirit, and they have a good amount of flavor because you got pecans, you got vanilla wafers, you got cocoa powder, you got alcohol, you have a bunch of different ingredients that make this a good treat. We got a little pecan tart. You might disagree if this is a cookie or not, but it's something we make every Christmas, and I feel like why not add it to the mix. It's might not be a cookie in its form, but it's a cookie in spirit for me. Well, it's got a perfect flaky buttery crust, and then a sweet layer on top with the pecans that are like candied in a like a syrup almost. It's like a mini pecan pie. You just take a big pecan pie and just make it individualized, and then you can eat 10 of them. So you're basically eating a pecan pie. But these things are amazing, honestly, and I could only eat these for the holidays and I'd be satisfied. That being said, I don't even like pecan pie that much, so I think just shrinking them just makes me feel like a giant, right? So I'm a normal sized person. You give me a tiny pecan pie and I just feel like a giant. I think that's the best part of them, but maybe. Next up is our pizzilles. So I come from an Italian household, and we make these every year at Christmas, and honestly, it feels like once a month. They're a staple for us, and they're very simple, not too much going on with them, but they're really good with like coffee or anything like that. But we have these every Christmas. If you never had one of these before, they're just super flat, and you kind of make them like waffles, so it's like super crazy that it works, honestly. And I had to describe this to someone who's never eaten one of these before. It would be like kind of like a waffle cone, but more cookie-y, so it has like vanilla and stuff in it, but it's just super simple, super good, and can't go wrong with them. Last cookie we're eating today is just a simple gingerbread man. I did not take one of the decorated ones just because I did not want to eat the pretty ones, because those are for later. But when you eat a gingerbread man, gotta bite its head off first. Put it out of its misery. So I know a lot of people don't like gingerbread, and I think it's personally because when you get gingerbread at the store or something like that, it's either in house form or it's in man form, and it's usually been sitting there for months, maybe even like a year, and it's hard as a rock. These cookies, soft, decadent, and just filled with flavor. So I think homemade gingerbread cookies are way better than store-bought, and I think if you don't like gingerbread, try making them, and this might change your mind. Now, one funny thing about these gingerbread cookies is when I made the dough, they're super sticky because you have to like cool for 4 hours and those like roll out. But it was super sticky, and I was like trying to cut out the cookies, and no progress was being made. So I had to get some flour out of the pantry to sprinkle it, lightly flour your workstation kind of deal, so make it not stick places. And I added bread flour instead of regular flour. And I added a whole bunch of this because this was so sticky, so I probably added like a cup of flour to the whole batch. And these things rose so much, not normal for gingerbread cookies, so they're like obese cookie men, but they're fluffier and breadier, which is honestly not terrible. I kind of dig it, so I'm not upset with this mistake, but I just thought it was a funny miscalculation that happened. So after baking cookies for 3 days straight. That's all the cookie varieties I have for you, but I cooked a lot of these cookies and put them nicely in a tray and all that kind of stuff, but who would have thought baking takes so much time? I wanted to take this opportunity to once again wish you guys a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Whatever you're doing for this time, just make sure you're spending it with family, friends, whoever is there for you. And if you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out, really helps the channel grow. Make sure you leave a like if you made it this far. This has been Ryan. You've been watching Foodiligence. Happy Holidays.